Thank you, sir. Good afternoon and welcome you. This is a voting meeting. I'd like to, previous time, if you turn your cell phones down or vibrate or turn your pages off, if you please stand, I'll have Mr. Kirk Quinn do the pledge. Follow the pledge, I'll have Mr. Terry Beard do the prayer. Thank you.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please recite the Lord's Prayer.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
Thank you. Item 3, I need approval of the minutes. Move. I've got a motion by Mr. Quinn, second by Mr. Hicks. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? That motion carries. We need to do an add-on here. Gentlemen, if you go on to item number 6, under the appointments, the secretary asked us to add on item C, Johnson Bayou Recreation District. Angie Jinks has resigned, and we're going to, Mr. Fountain would like to appoint Mr. Adrian Jinks to the board. Are there any other add-ons that you have at this time, Mr. Williams?
No, sir.
Ms. Horn, do you have any other add-ons at this time?
No, sir.
Mr. Falk? Mr. Boyock? Thank you, sir. D.A., Mr. D. Cecil, do you have any add-ons, sir?
No, sir.
Thank you very much, appreciate it. Would that occur, I need a motion to obtain this add-on, item C. Move. I've got a motion by Mr. Beard. Second by Mr. Hicks. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? That motion will carry. We're going to go to item number 4, drilling and pipeline permits. Item A is Energy Quest 2, LLC. Item B is Shell Pipeline Company, LP. Item C is Kinder Morgan. D is North Star Offshore Group, LLC. Item E is Samuel Gary Jr. and Associates, Incorporated. F is Shoreline Southeast, LLC. And G is Southern Pipeline Services.
I move to accept.
I've got a motion by Mr. Fountain, second by Mr. Burley. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? That motion will carry. Under item 5, we got other permits. Item A is LDWF and Grantineer, Rockefeller Refuge. B is Michael Pazan and Associates, Incorporated, West Hackberry Field. C, Chevron Environmental Management Company in the Johnson Bayou area. D is Chris Sanfilippo, Texas Petroleum Investment Company, West Hackberry Field. E is Targa Resources in Hackberry. F is Williams, Johnson Bayou.
Move to accept.
I've got a motion by Mr. Quinn, second by Mr. Hicks. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? That motion will carry. Under item 6, on the appointments. Appointment A is Fire District number 14. Mr. Scott Creel term has expired.
I move to reappoint.
I've got a motion by Mr. Quinn to reappoint.
Second.
Second by Mr. Beard. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? That motion carries. Let's see here. Okay. Under this Fire District number 1, Julie Bart, I guess, is resigned, or we gotta just change the motion on this?
No, sir. I'll make a motion to rescind the motion for her nomination of the last voting meeting.
Okay, I've got a motion by Mr. Burley to rescind his motion. It was a unanimous vote, so anybody can, I need a second.
I'll second.
I've got a second by Mr. Fountain. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Okay, the motion carries. Now, Mr. Burley, you got an appointment there, sir?
We're gonna table it till next month.
30 days. Okay, I've got a motion by Mr. Burley to table for 30 days.
Second.
Second by Mr. Beard. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? The motion will carry. Item C is the Johnson Bayou Rec. Angie Jinks has resigned. And we need a, Mr. Fountain.
Yeah, Mr. James, she's having family problems, so she needs to resign. I'd like to send her a letter of appreciation. and thanking her, and appoint Ms. Adrian Jenkins to that position.
I've got a motion by Mr. Fountain, second by Mr. Burley. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Darrell, be sure you send a letter of thanks out, please.
Yes.
It was in the motion. Let's go to item number 7, the president authorized to sign. A, Office of Community Development, LGAP, complete report, LGAP grant number 1112-CMN-0002, purchase of parish equipment.
I move to accept.
Say again.
I move to accept.
I've got a motion by Mr. Fountain, second by Mr. Hicks. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? The motion will carry. Under item B, amend to letter of commitment between Cameron Parish Police Jury and Cameron Speaks LLC.
And that is to exchange, not exchange, to add 2 more lots and to not take the lot that was, remember what street that was on? No.
Okay.
Anyway, there's one that he is not going to be able to use. Oh, it was on School Street. And he's taking the 2 lots on Mildred Street.
Okay, so just kind of,
Yeah.
all right, I need a,
I move to accept.
I've got a motion by Mr. Fountain,
Second.
Mr. Burley, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Item C, resolution authorizing issuance by Water Works District Number 11 of water revenue refunding bonds to refinance USDA loan. That's up in our district.
I move.
I've got a motion by Mr. Beard, second by Mr. Hicks. All in favor?
Aye.
Excuse me, any opposition? That motion will carry. Item D is a corporate endeavor agreement, State of Louisiana, CZM, number 2516-14-03, $26,858.
That's the coastal
That's their coastal.
zone management program.
That's the program we in now that she works on. Got a motion by Mr. Hicks, motion by Mr. Quinn, second by Mr. Hicks. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? That motion will carry. Under item E, first-time home buyer program, selling of LLT property located at 115 Eddie Lane in Johnson Bayou to Katrina McGee and Jake Fuselaar.
I move to accept.
Got a motion by Mr. Fountain,
Second.
second by Mr. DuPont. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion will carry. Item number 8, review bids. Item A is accept low bid for library electronic signs. Are they in there, Mr. Williams?
Yes, sir. The
The double-sided.
double-sided, we talked about the other night.
Is it a 5 double-sided signs or a 5 single?
Double-sided signs.
Sign Wall of South was $54,400. That's low bid?
$400, that was the low bid.
That's the low bid. That's one, okay. I need a motion to accept Sign World of the South, $54,400 is low bidder. I've got a motion by Mr. Hicks,
I second.
second by Mr. Fountain. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? The motion will carry. Under B, accept highest bid for sale of surplus equipment. Y'all have this, name a highest bidder, okay? Why don't we just take all, is this in order, Mr. Falk? Name a bidder, and it said highest acceptable bid? Is this in complete order, sir?
Now, this is all in order according to the bid calculation.
So in other words, the name of the bidder and the highest acceptable bid, all the way down that one list to item 15, 1 through 15 is all correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll accept, so we can accept items 1 through 15 as high bids.
Yeah, they were all accepted. They were all legitimate bids.
All right, I need a motion, guys, items 1 through 15, that was all the highest bidders.
Move to accept.
I got a motion by Mr. Quinn, second by Mr. Hicks. Anything else, Mr. Falk?
No, only thing I'd like to make a comment on, we did real good on our equipment.
Okay. That's it? Thank you, sir. I've got a motion by Mr. Quinn, second by Mr. Hicks. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? That motion will carry. Let's go to 8C, is relocation of the old Grand Lake Library building. Do you have something on that, Tina
The
or Daryl?
library board has decided to reject those bids. It was out of their budget.
So you want us to,
Reject the bid.
okay, I need a motion to reject the bid.
Move to reject.
I've got a motion by Mr. Quinn, second by Mr. Beard. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? The motion is carried. Item number 9, adopt the millage rates for the tax year of 2013. You got, we can take this all at one time, Mr. Williams? Yes, we can take this at one time, Mr. Fountain? You have anything?
No, I want to change, for District 10,
Under your fire protection?
under Fire Protection District number 10, we have a mill of 2. I'd like to raise it to 4. If it's gonna purchase new trucks, hire 6 firemen, and, it's gonna cost some money, so, for this next year, I'd like to kind of raise it up to 4.
Okay. What else, sir?
Also, Cameron Fire District, from 4 to 5,
1 meal?
1 mill to 5.
All right, sir, is this in a motion form?
Yes, sir, I make the motion to raise those mill rates.
Okay, I've got a motion to adopt the millage rates, but to raise fire district number 10 in the Johnson Bayou area from 2 to a 4, and also the Cameron millage from a 4 to a 5.
Yes, sir.
It's a motion form of Mr. Fountain, I need a second.
Second.
I got a second by Mr. Quinn, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Recuse? I've got to recuse with Mr. Burley, he's gonna recuse on this. Y'all got that?
Or just 9H?
It's a no vote. It's just, yeah, it's just a no vote. Okay, you got 6 to 0. Motion carries. Item number 10, we got a change order. Item A, change order number 1, project number 2012-09, South Little Pecan Marsh Restoration, time extension. How much time do they need, Tina? Daryl? Was it 45 days or something like that, or
75 days.
45?
75.
75 days. Okay, I need a motion. You want to extend this?
Due to weather or...
Yeah, there was reason.
60 days, Mr. Parkhurst, they want 60 days to allow additional time for plants to grow to adequate size for planting.
Okay, I'm good with that. I've got a motion by Mr. Burley, second by Mr. Hicks to do the change order for 60 days. That's what they've requested, is that right, Mr. Williams?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. You got the motion on that, Mr. Williams?
What was that again? Who made it?
Mr. Burley and Mr. Quinn.
Okay.
Item B, change order number 1, project number 2012-05, CDBG Phase 2 Road Improvements, a reduction in scope of work. I need a motion. I've got a motion by Mr. Burley.
Second.
Second by Mr. Quinn. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? That motion will carry. Under item C, change order number 3, project number 2009-06, courthouse platform, an increased cost from for new chiller and time extension of 75 days.
Question,
Go ahead.
what is that?
Well, some of the days have been going on for a while now, but it's been because we had to order a new chiller and we had to wait until it came in, and it is in now. It really wasn't their fault that we had to extend this.
Is this the final
We
part of
also,
that?
we also had those problems with the septic tank and
All that
y'all
sewer
remember
issue.
all
My,
those?
my problem with that is, every time I come over here, we go by there, there's not a soul working, nobody. I don't understand why these people are not working at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. this has been dragging on and dragging on and dragging on, and they're not working. There's other things can be done besides this chiller. Who's in charge of it? I mean, who do we have to contact to get these people on the move?
Mr. Harper's office is in charge of that.
We need to talk to Mr. Harper and find out what the problem is, why these people aren't working. Because every time I come over here at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the daytime, there's nobody there. If they are there, they're sitting around drinking Cokes. I just think it's time for somebody to get a move on.
Okay. Is this group just working on a chiller? That's all they're doing?
No, they're having to do some electrical lines and move all kind
Okay.
of stuff inside the courthouse too.
Okay, guys, it's a change order.
What's the increased cost?
Increase the cost is to take down the existing chiller, and if y'all remember, we bought the chiller out of the courthouse renovation money through Mr. Goodlow's contract because he was gonna replace it then, but it went out on us before then. And so, we didn't have anything in the bid for Mr. Newland to take the old one and dispose of it or to install the new one. And it wasn't, who's the contractor out there? Louis. For Louis to do that. Newland bought the chiller and Louis is installing it.
So then in the original scope of work, the removal of this was never in there from the beginning?
No.
Wow.
So what's the cost?
Total cost is increase of $22,694.
Is this a
Now,
bigger chiller?
I did tell them that I thought that we could take the old chiller and dispose of it, because for one thing, the chiller's still running. You know, remember we did some work on it and we kept it running. So, I mean, I think we could probably sell it, if nothing else, for junk. But it's worth something. And to pay somebody to dispose of it for us, I don't
So
think we should have to do that.
Tina, what is the cost? What is the cost incurred?
Okay, the cost incurred, handling, shipping, and disposal of an old chiller, that was $1,800. They had to get a special flange kit connection, reroute chilled water piping, reroute electrical piping and wiring, which was 23 hours of labor, and that mounted up to probably about $2,500 there. And then they had to remove and install new suction diffuser and triple duty valve on existing pumps. That was, I think, the main cost. And they had some welding that they had to do. I don't know, to me, some of this should have been in the original bid.
Why did if they bid on that, they should have looked at all that.
Well, I did have Lonnie's office here to answer questions on this at the agenda meeting, but it wasn't on y'all's agenda, so.
So the total cost right now is $22,000,
I mean,
and that's still coming out of the CDBG funds? Or is that gonna come out of the general fund now?
it's gonna come out of courthouse renovation. No, it's gonna come out of the hazardous mitigation, that is paying for the platform.
Okay, because there was a grant over there too for the platform, wasn't there?
That was a PW off of the courthouse, and we added hazardous mitigation to that PW.
Okay.
But we can table this and get with the contractor.
All right.
I move to table.
I'll second.
I got a motion by Mr. Fountain, second by Mr. Quinn, to table for 30 days. get with the contractor, Tina, and then bring it back to us at the next agenda. Is that good with you, gentlemen?
I'm thinking we might need to have a
That's a
meeting.
lot of, that's 75 days.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's good.
That's good. We'll come back.
They need to come back with more information, that's, okay.
It'll be winter time by the time they get it going.
Exactly.
Okay, I got a motion by Mr. Fountain and a second by Mr. Quinn, table 30 days. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Item number 11, accept Hackberry Fire Siren Alert System, project number 1106 as substantially complete. Got a motion by Mr. Hicks,
Second.
second by Mr. Fountain. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Item number 12, advertise for bids, modular building for Lowry Library.
I'll move on that.
I've got a motion by Mr. Beard, second by Mr. Burley to advertise.
President,
Yes.
I think we want to set a price at 95,000 on this.
Is that the board's wish?
Yes.
95,000. Yes. Okay, in your motion, Mr. Beard, you'll add 95,000 on that? Okay. You got that, Mr. Williams? You got it, sir?
Yes, sir.
You got the motions?
Yes, sir.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Item number 13, approve Mr. Irvin Corbella as agent of record for quotes on group hospital insurance. Yeah, I need a motion. I got a motion by Mr. Burley,
Second.
second by Mr. Boyan.
Include that, that does not include the.
Yeah, it does not
the
include-
Police Jury Association.
That's right, yes, that's already, that should
So
be
I
in the
want
motion.
to just add that to the motion.
Yes, it's not including that, he cannot touch that. You got the motion, sir?
Yeah, correct.
Mr. Burley and Mr. Quinn. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? The motion carries. Item number 14, we had discussed this to go out and advertise personnel for the retired lady in the Hackberry Road crew. I need a motion.
I'll move.
Got a motion by Mr. Fountain, second by Mr. Hicks. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? That motion carries. Item number 15, approved budget for Southwest Louisiana Criminalistics Laboratory. There's no cost to us, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Move to accept.
Got a motion by Mr. Quinn, second by Mr. Hicks. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? This motion carries. Item number 16 is advertised for bids on official journal.
We have to do this every year.
I move to accept.
We're gonna advertise. Okay, I got a
Second.
motion by Mr. Fountain to advertise. Mr. Quinn seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? That motion carries. Item number 17, designate of records retention officer. Who is that gonna be? Yourself, Darrell? Okay, Secretary Treasurer Darrell Williams. Need a motion?
Move to accept.
We got a motion by Mr. Quinn, second by Mr. Hicks, to appoint as a designation of records retention officer Darrell Williams. All in favor? Any opposition? That motion will carry. Item number 18, we're gonna pay some annual membership dues for MCAL. I got a motion by Mr. Hicks, second by Mr. Quinn. All in favor? Any opposition? That motion will carry. Well, guys, we gotta pay for the month, let's pay some bills.
Man, do we have to?
I really could, Kurt.
It was a pretty light month as far as they go.
It's
Well, I move
like-
to pay them then, this is a lot.
I got a motion by Mr. Burley, second by Mr. Beard to pay the bills. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? There will be no executive session. I need a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Got a motion by Mr. Burley, second by Mr. Hicks. All in favor? Any opposition? That motion carries. Thank you. Good night.